Hello, my name is Adrian Moss, and together with my colleague Jose Miguel, I'm going to present to you our work on application generation from abstract specifications. We start with our motivations for this work. The first motivation is empowering non-technical users to create apps. In the world of content creation, the end users have a lot of choice, ranging from tools to frameworks and platforms for creating blogs and social media posts. When it comes to application creation containing behavior, the end users would need to learn a lot of technical skills and use very complex tools and platforms in order to create apps that are then eventually made available to many users. The second motivation for the work is reducing the need for skilled developers. Organizations typically create apps and make them available to a large variety of platforms. Here we see just a sample of the kind of platforms that organizations might be interested in targeting, ranging from mobile devices to smartwatches. Typically, specialized developers for each of these platforms are involved in creating the apps. They create and then they also maintain these apps. Sometimes they may take some hybrid approaches, such as the one illustrated on the left side of the screen, where platforms such as Ionic are used to target multiple mobile platforms with the same code. However, in general, different developers will target different platforms. When updates appear, they need to be coded by the individual developers for the specific platform, and then they need to be pushed to these platforms and installed. Installation may involve different levels of user interaction, ranging from quite involved with some of the mobile devices to transparent with something like smart TVs. Our approach involves the creation of an application behavior model, or ABM, which is an abstract description of the application. It is platform agnostic, contains references to predefined behaviors, and it can be designed with a graphical user interface that even non-technical users should be able to operate. Once this ABM is created for an application, it is deployed on the cloud or the cloud execution engine, where the largest part of the application resides. This is where the backend or the server side, the core of the application executes. When this ABM is deployed there, a token that uniquely identifies this ABM among other ABMs is returned. The process continues. There is template code for each of the target platform that we support. This template code is enriched with this token. This enables the connection between the code that will run on each individual platform and the ABM that executes on the cloud. In fact, this code, this template code, is relatively simple, is completely independent of any application, and it simply contains rendering code for the specific platform to render any ABM, and it contains code for enabling interactions between the users of the platform and the actual application running on the cloud. Therefore, for each of these supported platforms, the same token will be used by various versions of this template to connect the user of the platform to this ABM and therefore the application logic on the cloud. So the execution happens in the following way. Each of the applications that are supposed to execute this ABM will connect to the cloud by sending the token that identifies the ABM. So we can have many users running many instances of the same application that looks very different on each individual platform. However, they will all run the same token. This ABM is returned, and then the application execution can proceed. And this involves navigation within the application as well as executing the application logic. We will demonstrate all the aspects of the application generation that we mentioned in a set of demos that start by showing how an application can be defined and then generating, and continue with showing this application executed on two different platforms, a mobile phone and a voice-based assistant. We start with application definition. Here we see the application logic in the form of a flow. This shows what happens after the user takes a guess. A hint is showed if the guess is not correct. It can be even lower or higher. If the guess is correct, then a congratulations message is displayed. As you can see, this flow contains a number of conditions and different logic. Now we move on to application definition. This is the ABM designer. Here we have two actions, guessing the number and setting up the game. Each of these actions is connecting to a flow. Once the application is defined, we can generate the actual code for running it. We have two templates here, one for Ionic and another one for Alexa, which correspond to respectively to mobile platforms and to voice-based assistants. And next, we will show running this application on these two platforms. Here we see the application running on an iPhone. We see the two actions that were defined in the ABM. The first one is setup. Here the user sets the value to guess as being 5. Now we go back to the ABM and we change it by removing the setting up part. When the user logs back into the application, they will see the updated version of the app because the ABM is loaded again. The user here launches the guessing the number action. The guess is 7. Because this is higher than our value to guess, we have a hint to go lower. Now the user chooses the right value and is displayed a congratulations message. Now we will show the same application running on a very different device, which is a voice-based assistant.
Alexa, guessing game.
Welcome to Guessing Game. Do you want to guess the number?
Yes.
Let's take a guess. Between 1 and 10, please provide your guess.
3.
Hint, the value is higher. Let's take a guess. Between 1 and 10, please provide your guess.
5.
Congratulations! Thank you for running Guessing Game, powered by Flow.
In summary, we have shown the same application running on two different devices with very different user interfaces based on the same application behavior model and running the same application logic. And with that, we thank you and we encourage you to contact us for any questions.